Hello, everybody, and welcome into our live coverage. This is TV Warren's election night coverage for the 2023 general election. I'm your host, Enver Shaplo.
And I'm Megan Novak. Tonight's election is a very important one for the city of Warren. Voters will be deciding who will hold all 7 city council seats, as well as city clerk, treasurer, and mayor.
That's right, Megan. For the first time in 16 years, the city of Warren will have a new mayor. Mayor Fouts was the longest serving mayor for the city with 4 terms. So this is a very historic night.
Yes, that's right. And on top of having a new mayor, Warren might also have its first female mayor. Also, we will see the first African American elected to city council as well.
And of course, a lot of history being made tonight. Not just one
Yes.
piece of history, but multiple pieces of history. It's not, you see maybe one, but there's a lot that's gonna, it's never really happened in our city before. So
That's true. Yeah, first female mayor up on the ballot, as well as African American. It's pretty exciting.
And we've had, first time we've had a new mayor, like 4 terms, 16 years. So so a lot of history being made. So stick with us. We have plenty on the agenda for you. Throughout the night, we'll be hearing from many of the candidates that are on the ballot today, as well as Mayor Fouts.
We will also be bringing you election results as they become available. For more on that, here is Macomb County Clerk Anthony Forlini.
Hi, my name is Anthony Forlini, your Macomb County Clerk. Today is an important day in Warren elections, very historic. And I just ask everybody, Sonia Bufa, your clerk, is busy at work getting all the tabulator numbers together. And the thing to remember with this election is there's so many write-in candidates that it's going to take a little while for those election results to come into the county, at which point we will immediately put it out on our website, so that everyone will have the information. So I ask everyone, just be a little patient. We'll get the numbers in. It'll probably be fairly late because of the write-in candidates and the fact that we don't modem results anymore. So a little bit more security, a little bit more paying attention to the details, because we want to make sure you have the absolute best results and correct results on election night.
So as you heard, the clerk, Anthony Forlini, and let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, back, things have changed. So back, it used to be via modem through internet line, and then they would count the absentee ballots. But now that's all changed. Everything is now counted. All the results are all counted at the same time, and then they are actually hand delivered to the county.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely different than how they used to do it with the modem, and it would just kind of feed through. Now they're checking, double checking, triple checking.
Absolutely.
They're counting, which is great.
It's got to be precise. Everything's got to be exact, and just be patient with us. Be patient with us, because the numbers will be coming in. Hopefully, we'll get some numbers before we're off the air tonight. We'll be on the air till midnight, so hopefully those numbers will start to trickle in. But we do have plenty of write-in candidates, Megan. Obviously, Michelle Nard, one of them, write-in candidate for mayor. And then we have Jocelyn Howard at large as well. She's a write-in. And then District 1, Mo Islam. And then District 5, Randy Hall and Eddie Kapuscinski.
And what's interesting, like Anthony Forlini said, there are those write-ins, so we just want to make sure they're counted correctly. And having that many write-ins it's quite a lot. It's not very usual.
And again, it takes, when you're a write-in candidate, it takes a little, as you'll hear a little later on in our interviews, obviously it takes some time, to write in a candidate as well. So that's going to take some time, a little bit more time to count the votes as well. And, but, and you do have to register to be a write-in.
Oh, that's true.
So you can't just, put, like, for say Mickey Mouse on there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be a registered write-in. So
exactly.
you got something to take. That's something else to take into account as well.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, this is a historic night because Warren will be electing a new mayor since Mayor Fouts was term limited. We caught up with Mayor Fouts prior to the election to discuss his time in office. Here are his thoughts on running for office.
Well, this will be the first time in over 40 years that I have not been on the ballot as either a candidate for city council or re-election, or a candidate for mayor or re-election for mayor. Obviously, a lot has happened in 40 years. I was reflecting on it today. When I first got elected in '81, Ronald Reagan was president, and he'd just gotten over an assassination attempt earlier in the year. That was the same year that the Pope also was assassinated, or an attempt on his life, as well as Reagan. And when I got elected mayor in 2007, it was just before Barack Obama ran for president. And oddly enough, during that time period, I was asked by the Obama campaign to give an introductory speech to then candidate Obama, and I was glad to do that. And I might add, the only two presidents that I have ever personally met and spoke with have been President Obama and President Reagan, and I like both men. So the beginning of my career was with President Reagan, and toward the end of my career was with President Obama. That being said, election is always an exciting time. I think the high is always the first time you win. You're really excited. When I won way back in '81, I was excited, and all my supporters were there, many of whom have unfortunately passed away. Henry Christofchuk was a strong supporter, and he was with me in a famous photo with Henry and I, and there were a number of other people that were there. And I think it was pretty exciting first time I got elected, and I was very appreciative. I went door to door and I worked hard, and I never forgot that I got elected by the people of Warren, and it was going door to door in the neighborhood. Hence, I became the neighborhood councilman, and then when I became mayor, I began to put the focus on taking care of neighborhoods and making the whole purpose was to make them cleaner and safer, and that's why I started the Blight Sweep Sock. And that's why that I went out and made sure I got the best police commissioner and fire commissioner in the state. And I think I did that with Bill Dwyer and Skip McAdams.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, incredible.
It's interesting.
An incredible run from Mayor Fouts.
Absolutely.
42 years, and who knows?
Wow.
He could still be maybe run for some kind of county office seat down the road.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a long time, and he was even a teacher too before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Government teacher at Sterling Heights High School.
Wow.
So, well, folks, numbers aren't quite in yet, so hang tight. They'll be coming in, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more election night coverage right after this. Stick around.
Welcome back to TV Warren's live election night coverage. There are a lot of important races on the ballot this year, and at the top of that list is race for mayor.
Yes, we had a chance to meet up with both our mayoral candidates, Lori Stone and George Demas. Let's take a look and hear what they had to say.
Well, I feel good today. I've worked real hard in this campaign, knocking doors, talking to people, going to festivals, open houses. Work is what it calls for in a campaign. When it comes to campaigning, I put blinders on. You know, no picnics, no birthdays, no weddings, and no boat rides, no cottages, no anything. It's just campaigning 100%. So I feel we've done a good job. I'm part of the Super 7. I think the Super 7 will do well today. There's been a lot of damage in the last 4 years, a lot of things we missed, a lot of missed opportunities, and just want to say to the voters of Warren that I want to thank them for their support in that primary on August the 8th, and I hope that support will continue today on November the 7th. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm feeling excited, anxious, tired. It's been a long election season. We started back in January and February with the planning, and then we were out on doors in May and mobilizing volunteers. And I can't even tell you how many miles I put in on my shoes. And now this is the culmination, right? Like sitting down with all the volunteers who have put in time and sweat equity, have invested in me as a candidate, invested in the people that I'm working with. And ultimately, this really epitomizes working together for Warren. Yes, I'm so excited to start writing the next chapter for what comes next for Warren. And for me, working together for Warren is my motto. And so this looks like starting with conversations. You got to listen to learn in order to lead. And so it looks like conversations across departments and with employees, because I can't think of anyone better who knows how to maximize efficiencies, identify things that we can improve on. We know that our residents love our city services, and they are dependable and they count on it. And so that doesn't have to change, but I think we can also elevate it to the next level. And so I'm anxious to sit down with them. In addition, this is going to be a cooperative movement. I come from a grassroots background, and so I really see any changes for our community coming from residents, from community leaders, from community organizations, business leaders, and we have the opportunity to grow and change and invest in our community, making it a better place to live, work, and play.
It is important to note that Michelle Nard is also running for mayor as a write-in candidate, so it'll be interesting to see how that race plays out.
And let's remember, there was a write-in candidate in the city of Detroit that actually won the mayor race, and that was current Detroit mayor Mike Duggan. So anything can happen.
Yeah.
You know, he proved it. So also on the ballot today was the seat of treasurer, where incumbent Lori Barnwell is running unopposed. Let's hear her plans for the next 4 years in office.
Thank you so much. First of all, I just want to thank the Warren residents for all their support over the last 8 years. It's just meant everything to me. And talking to residents over the last 8 years, they are just so determined to move Warren forward and to take our technology, our finances to the next level. So what we're going to do over the next 4 years is continue what we've been doing. And a lot of that is continuing to make wise investment choices. So before I took over as treasurer 8 years ago, all of our city investments were just sitting in savings accounts and not really earning the optimal interest for our residents. So now they are diversified, more secure, and we are earning several $1 million over the last 8 years in additional revenue for the city and just making wise investment choices that not just make it more interest, but also more secure for our residents. And not only that, but our technology is so important to me as well. And that was one of the things I heard 8 years ago is residents said to me, Lori, we need to make sure that our technology is accessible, that it is affordable, and that is something that all residents can access. And that is something that my office has done. We have continued to waive fees for our residents to pay online or over the phone. And it's very ironic that we launched this technology in 2019 after, I won the second term. And we have since then loaded several departments on this payment portal technology. And because of that, thousands and thousands of residents have used this technology to make their payments. And especially over COVID, during COVID, when residents were concerned about coming into the office, they kind of stepped out of their comfort zone and went online and used our over-the-phone technology to make their water, tax payments, and now residents can also make their building payments online as well. And that has just saved residents a lot of time and money as well using our new payment technology. And investing in the community is something that's very important to the Treasurer's Office. And we have offered several financial seminars to our residents, such as like starting to save, walking residents through how do we really start saving? How do we start saving for our future? How do we start saving for our grandchildren? How do we start saving for a vacation that we might want to go on? So things like that, we want to make sure that we're offering those services to our residents, that they understand how to really get started with that. I think residents have the desire to really be financially strong, but sometimes they just lack that first step. And the Treasurer's Office really wants to be that first step for them. And we've helped so many residents with that in the second term as your treasurer. And we're going to continue to do that with Starting to Save seminar, as well as becoming a homeowner, opening a small business. These are things I hear from residents all the time. They have this desire to buy a home, or they have this desire to start a small business. They just don't know where to start. And we want to be that resource in helping them do that, as well as making sure that we are a resource to the community in general. So my office is very involved with a Mission for Love, which helps families dealing with childhood cancer. And so that's a big part of what we do, as well as, we have our Warren Toy Drive coming up, and we are collecting toys for the Warren Salvation Army. And we just want to be that beacon of help and service to those around our community.
Congratulations to Lori Barnwell on her third term as Warren's City Treasurer. We're going to take another look at some numbers. We'll be right back.
everybody, and welcome back to TV Warren's election night coverage for the 2023 general election. Still no numbers yet, still waiting on that, but plenty of stuff to still talk about here, plenty of interviews, including Mayor. After 16 years in office, he's accomplished quite a bit. Here is Mayor Fouts with more on what he felt was his biggest accomplishments as mayor.
Well, there's a lot of accomplishments, but I think what I'd like to be remembered for, that from a personal point of view, I was always willing to do the best I could. I tried to give 100% every day. And when I became mayor, I refused to use the city vehicle. I gave up the city car. During the campaign, I made a commitment to give up my retirement check, so I will not get a retirement check. Otherwise, I'd have a nice retirement check. I gave that up. I gave up my cell phone, and I have not gone on a vacation in almost 16 years, and I usually work through my lunchtime. And I think most importantly, I go home every night and I return calls from residents that have neighborhood concerns. And I have stacks and stacks of notebooks where I take detailed notes on what people have a concern about. And then the next day, I call up the department heads and I say, Joe Smith has an issue with the road. There's a pothole, and Sandy Corey has another issue regarding crime, and someone else has this issue. And I'm very proud of the fact that I've made a lot of friends with Warren residents by taking care of their concerns, whether I personally visited them or whether I returned calls. But I return calls 7 days a week. My phone is listed. People call me on my cell phone. They call me on my home phone as well as work phone. So I'm proud of the fact that I've made this a personal mayorship. I've been willing to communicate with people in person or on the phone, and I've always been available every day, 7 days a week. And when there's a major storm, like there might be, we had couple of Saturday nights where we had major storms. I was up until midnight. I was calling the fire commissioner. I was calling the police. I was returning calls. So I think I've had a personal administration where I'm willing to help out. That would be the number one thing I'd be proud of. The second item that I'd be proud of is the fact that we've had a strong fund balance. We've never been in financial trouble. I believe Warren, to this date, has one of the strongest fund balances in the state. That I'm proud of. And so we've never been stressed out about money. The third item I'd be proud of is the fact that I've focused on diversity, and I've hired more people of diverse background, more African Americans, more women, more people of Arabic background, Bangladesh, what have you. And so we have a city that reflects the community. As a matter of fact, before I was mayor, there was not one appointee in the mayor's immediate administration that is African American. I appointed the first African American fire commissioner almost 15 years ago, Skip McAdams. He's still with me. He's doing a great job. And he's won the Gold Award from the American Heart Association for having the best fire department in the state. I hired the first diversity director, and we still have a diversity. I came up with the idea of a diversity director, and we have that. I hired the first communications director, who currently is African American. So whether it be fire commissioner, city attorney, communication director, or diversity director, all of those have been hired by me. Before I was mayor, there was no African American in the administration. I think I've added and hired more women as far as that goes, Arab Americans and Bangladesh and what have you. So we have more diversity. Also, we have more diversity when it comes to age. And my staff today, the youngest person in my staff is in their 20s, and the oldest person is 92. So I have administrators that are several who are in their 80s, and I have some who are in their 30s. So whether it's 20, 30, 80, or 90, you're never too old or you're never too young to be part of my administration. So diversity is not just age, it's not just sex, it's also a wide variety of things. So diversity in terms of color, diversity in terms of ethnicity, diversity in terms of sex, and diversity in terms of age. So I'm very proud of that. Also, I think we've done a lot when it comes to roads. We've paved more roads than any administration in the history of Warren, and I think we're the first administration in a long time to pave neighborhood roads. We went to LED lights, we fixed all of our lighting, and I'm very proud of this too. We started Blight Sweep when I became mayor, and I take a lot of blight calls, and we go neighborhood by neighborhood, door by door, and we clean up the city. And I've had many Warren residents say, Mr. Mayor, this city is never cleaner than it was since your administration took over. And that's because I have top-notch people. Also, in terms of public safety, as I previously alluded to, I hired Bill Dwyer, the best police commissioner in the state. Bill got the police department to be accredited. Before it wasn't. We're the highest accredited police department in the state. We're the best police department in the state. We started a drug task force, and we've made major efforts in the drug war. We also were, I think, one of the first administration in Warren, and maybe one of the first in the metro area, to issue Narcan to save lives. I'm trying to think what else. Body cameras, and of course diversity. But our police department is top-notch, and we go out and we investigate, and I will call them about issues, and they'll take care of that. Fire department is the same way. They've done an outstanding job of winning the Gold Award from the American Heart Association for 8 years in a row for saving lives. We have new fire stations going up, and we have the latest equipment. And again, we have a top-notch leader in Skip McAdams. And another thing I'd mention too, several years ago in Cranes, Detroit, it might have been 3 years ago or 4 years ago, Cranes Detroit stated that Warren was #1 in industrial investment. That meant that we got businesses to move into Warren and develop Warren. For example, and we got investments. General Motors Tech Center, I think, has invested about $2.5 billion in the city. I think Stellantis, formerly Chrysler, about $1.5 to $2 billion, and we have the tank plant. And we have a whole host of other investments, and I might add, one of the ways that we were able to get all these businesses to come into the city was because we advertised Move to Warren. And although the city council might have disagreed with us, that Move to Warren proved that we got businesses to move even from Sterling Heights or from Rochester to move into Warren. And I think we had one business move from England or what have you, but this convinced businesses to move here. And by the way, while I had it, it also convinced people to move to Warren, and Warren recorded their first upswing in population in 50 years. From 1970 until 2020, Warren lost population. The 2020 census showed that Warren had gone up, and we have now more people than we've had since 1970. So this is all a result of this administration doing everything we can to get businesses to move to Warren and get people to move to Warren. And I think we did a great job during COVID, too. We started, well, I think we were one of the first cities to give out COVID shots. We were the first city to institute masks and things of that nature. We gave out masks. We've done everything we could to fight the COVID problem as well. So I'm not sure what else there is to say, except in my heart, I feel good about the fact that I believe this administration was the first administration to pay homage to World War II vets. We had a big ceremony for World War II vets, I think in 2008. We had a ceremony for Vietnam vets. I know that was the first one they'd ever had, at least in Warren, because they thanked me for that. We honored World War II, Korean War vets, Vietnam vets, Gulf War vets. I'm very proud of the effort we've made to support our men who have, in some cases, paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Wonderful progress for the city of Warren.
Yeah, you could say the mayor had AAA bond rating. Tons of achievements, accolades, and accomplishments. A lot to be proud of.
Yes.
You know, if you're Mayor Fouts. Again, a great run that he had in 16 years in office as the mayor of Warren.
Very true, very true. While we await numbers, we are going to continue hearing from this year's candidates. Unfortunately, we were unable to catch up with incumbent candidate for city clerk Sonia Bufa because she is hard at work overseeing today's election, but we were able to speak with her opponent, Mai Zhang. Let's hear what she had to say.
So I feel wonderful. We've done so many things leading up to Election Day that, I'm just so proud of all of the volunteers and the support that we have gotten. I feel really good. And, when I'm elected as city clerk, first thing I want to make sure that we do is implement some of the new laws that were passed by the state legislature with Proposal 2 and making sure that those laws are followed, and that we allow people to vote early as how people have voted to pass Proposal 2.
Anything else you want to add?
I just want to thank everyone for supporting me through this campaign and also electing me, in 2020 to serve as a county commissioner. I've learned so much through this process, and I'm ready to continue serving the community here in Warren. I love this community. My husband and I raise our 4 children here, and they attend Warren Consolidated School, so we're very much involved in the community, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to serve as our next city clerk.
All right, folks, hang tight. We're hopefully getting some numbers soon, but we're going to take a real short break, and we'll be right back with live coverage of Election Night 2023. Stay with us.
Welcome back to TV Warren's election night coverage. As we wait for numbers to come in, let's hear from the candidates for City Council at large.
As a registered nurse, I definitely want to advocate for funding for healthcare programs, especially for mental health services. Of course, safety, public safety, and quality education. Those are really my top three. And of course, fix our roads and parks. And I'd like to sit down with everyone who's elected. We have to meet together, talk about what's the best initiative and plans to move forward. A lot of them are they're always concerned about our roads and our parks that need to be fixed, bathrooms that need fixing, bathrooms that need to stay open. And they're really excited for the possibility of a new mayor. So that's why I'm really, I feel like this is the best time that, running. And I'm like the voters, I'm excited as well.
Okay, I'm really excited about today. I think we had a great response out at the polls. Voter turnout was lower, but the people were all engaging and very kind. So I feel really good about the election in general. And if I win, I think the first thing I want to do is reach out to the citizens and thank them for the support and to have a plan to move the city forward and with unity and good quality between all of us. And I'm hoping we have a great team to work and bring this city forward.
So yeah, it was a very long day today. I was out there 13 hours hitting the different polling locations. I got a really positive response out there. And I'm just kind of really glad that it's the end of the day. It's been a long and weary road for the last several months, but I'm being cautiously optimistic that things go well tonight. So as far as moving forward here in the city of Warren, it's just over the course of the last 4 years, it doesn't seem like a lot has been accomplished between the council and the mayor, a lot of bickering, lawsuits, and I just look to have everybody, the mayor, our council, work together and get the city moving forward in the right direction, and we plan on accomplishing a lot over the course of the next 4 years. Thank you much for all your support out there, greatly appreciated.
I feel really good. I feel incredibly proud of the effort that our team has made. We have went to every door in the city, someone from our campaign. We have connected with so many voters, and I am just really honored to have the opportunity to run. My grandmother just turned 99, October 31st, and she was born just a few years after she had the ability to even vote, let alone watch her granddaughter hold office and run for office. So being able to run in the first place is just such an honor and a privilege. So I feel really good. I very much look forward to connecting with my new colleagues, for those that are joining, working with the new administration and getting to work and moving the city forward for the residents of Warren. I think we've been stagnant for too long. Many of the cities around us are thriving. We continue to stay stagnant, and I really, really look forward to moving the city into its next iteration, its next life. I think one is just governance in general, and that governing is hard. When you represent 137,000 people, you have to ensure that their voices are lifted. It's not your own, it is the voice of them that you're representing. And so really making sure that my colleagues know that, and that we continue to make sure that we put people at the center of the work that we do, and we don't get sidetracked by petty politics or other things that are happening, and that we really put the people's agenda to work. And so I look forward to continue to doing that, and I look forward to even doing more of that into the future.
Well, it was the citizens who made me go this route. During the primary, we lost it by 1/8 of 1%, and the citizens kept saying, keep going, Jocelyn, because there was not an emphasis on the primary. But a write-in is not hard. It takes 7 seconds to write in the name, and then you just circle in the oval. But it's either 7 seconds for the best candidate that you feel or 4 years of someone who you didn't choose. So 7 seconds or 4 years. We have the opportunity now with new administration, also a new legislative body, we get to put forth some really creative ideas. I've been talking primarily about building infrastructure. We talk about having arteries where small business development can go into. We're talking about inviting our business community to come down and have investment in our parks. I believe some of our biggest tax-based businesses should be able to come and to invest in our parks over a 10-year period, and they can have a footprint in the city. We can do this. All we have to do is put the right people at the table and to move this the city forward.
So that race has 4 candidates and 1 write-in candidate facing off for 2 council seats that will represent the city as a whole. It'll be interesting to see who wins those 2 seats.
Next up, let's hear from the candidates for City Council District 1.
I am feeling very excited about just Warren getting out, period. The people in my community really getting out there, and I believe they have spoken and said they're ready for a person of color for city council, and I'm very happy to take that spot because I work in my community and I know the experience, and over the years and really working in the community starting 23 years ago, this is what I wanted to do, to make sure I get involved. And I'm going to ask that every person out there in District 1 make sure they do the same. And I want to be an example to our youth. And our youth deserve to see a person of color in this spot also, because they want to see people that look like them. And they want to see successful people that's working in the community and making a difference. And we got to make sure that we build up youth so that they can invest in our city. So I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel good about it. A little tired. It's been a long day. I just finished having dinner. And some of my top priorities for things I want to do for the city is work with the police and fire, get them their health benefits back after they retire. Also, I want to make improvements on the parks. There's funds for that already. Work on the South and make Warren united, not a South Warren and a North Warren, because we're all people, you know. And Warren's become very diverse, and we all need to stick together. Helmich Park is in dire need of renovation in the pavilions, and, well, they're working on the bathrooms right now, from what I understand. Some of the streets in South Warren, those were some of the primary situations and things that people were talking about.
We would like to note that this race also has a write-in candidate, Mo Islam.
All right, stick around. More election night coverage coming up right after the break, so stay right there with us. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TV Warren's 2023 election night coverage. As we continue on election night coverage, we go to Mayor Fouts once again to hear what he hopes to see happen in Warren in the next 4 years, with some advice added in there as well.
Well, number one, we have to have a charter commission. We have to have a new charter written up. So that means the voters should be able to go to the polls and vote for a charter commission, and then after that they should vote for an improved charter. Because many of the legal problems that we had this year were because the city council interpreted the charter differently than this administration did, and so therefore we need to have a reinterpretation of the city charter so there's no doubt about what the writers of the charter meant, and this was written way back in the 1950s, and things have changed since then. Number two, I am hopeful that the new mayor, whether it's one of two people or three people, whomever, the new mayor will agree to complete the town center, which I worked hard for, which Tom Bomarito did, and which had the city council voted on it. They had a couple of years to vote on it. If they had voted on it, we would have generated a new place that Warren residents would be proud of. It wouldn't cost the residential taxpayers a penny. It would have generated $2.5 million of new taxes a year and $250 million of new investment. I want to see that town center completed. It would have had upscale shopping. It would have had a nightclub at the top. It would have had places to go and visit. It would have had upscale lofts, and it would have given people a sense of identity, and it would have basically encouraged people to shop in Warren rather than go to other downtown areas. I want to see that taken care of. And by the way, it would have created 1,000 construction jobs and hundreds of commercial jobs. So the town center is first and foremost. The charter revision is another item, and I think we have to also look at continuing some other efforts toward improving our infrastructure, and we need to do some things to continue encouraging diversity in the police department, in the fire department, and other areas. And I think this administration will have to work on looking at what we can do about the new AI that's out there and utilize that for the good of the citizens.
So much knowledge that comes with 16 years as mayor and over 2 decades on council. As we continue our election night coverage, let's hear from more candidates for city council. First up, we have, let's take a look here. Who do we have? Oh, we have District 2 candidates.
Feeling very good about tonight. It paralleled very close to the primary back in August as far as the reception from voters. I think it's going to be a tight race, but very close, and it's going to be very similar to the primary outcome. My first plan moving forward is to unite the city council with the mayoral administration, and we work together as a team and move Warren forward.
I feel really good. We have a lot of plans to move forward with a lot of the initiatives we started in the last term. We have a lot of commissions that we need to get going, the diversity, the Veterans Commission, and lots of other things that have been stalled for almost 4 years. So that's what I'm most concerned about.
All right.
All right, that was actually District 3.
Oh, yes.
For City Council District 3, but we
Mindy
will
Moore.
shortly have District 2 as well, the candidates as well. We're just waiting on that. But,
Absolutely.
And so far, Megan, a very interesting night, to say the least, and
Yes.
a lot more to come, really.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the numbers, and it's such a large city, and takes a lot of time and effort to get through these numbers. So we appreciate it.
It's exciting. I'm sure a lot of anxiety. All the candidates, waiting to see, what the final results is going to be, and what's going to happen here in the next 4 years here in the city of Warren, and a lot of excitement too. So we haven't seen something like this in a long time here in the city. So, but we do actually have that the city council candidates running in District 2. So let's take a look at that right now.
I'm overjoyed. The people of Warren voted for me. I'm very confident that I'm going to pull the election out. My first plan of business will be unity, something we haven't had in a long time. I think from knocking on the doors, talking to the people, I really got an insight of what they want from the city. I'm going to use that, what I picked up from them, and try to implement the plans that people gave to me.
Feeling really good. We did a lot of legwork between the primary and the general. A lot of positive feedback at the polls today. And if we're, back at the table next week, I'd like to continue all the good work that we've done in the past. We got 2 new fire stations that I'm very passionate about. I'd like to see those being built, and some new fire rigs coming in, and continue the good work for police and fire.
Okay, Megan, that was not District 2.
Right.
That was the Warren City Council candidates running for District 4.
Yes.
So now we're going to try District 2, the candidates running for District 2 for Warren City Council.
Feeling very positive. We had great response at the doors. I've been running a door-to-door campaign since mid-April, enjoying engaging with my neighbors, and this has been a neighborhood-centric campaign. The focus has always been on them and my independent leadership maintaining checks and balances on City Council.
So I'm feeling really good tonight. The support I received from the community has been overwhelming. I've received a lot of positive comments. Going door to door really paid off. A lot of people said they remember me going door to door and meeting them that way. So I think it was crucial, going out there and meeting the constituents, hitting the pavement. So the first thing that I would like to do once I get elected is to get rid of the third-party law firm that we have currently and resolve issues within the council. I want to save money and not pay legal fees to third-party law firms and settle it within the council. So that'll be the first thing I do.
And last up, here are your candidates from District 5. And
actually, might not have that ready.
Okay.
But we also did have 2. It is ready now. So we're going to take a look at the candidates running in District 5.
I'm Henry Noonan. I'm running for Warren City Council District 5. The voters have been showing up in good numbers, and my voters have been showing up in a majority. So I really like that, and I hope if you haven't voted yet that you'll come out, whether you're voting for me or against me. I look forward to serving you. My telephone number is 586-360-4998. If you need any help with the city or have suggestions for making it a more welcoming and friendly place and a better place, I look forward to hearing your comments. Thank you.
So if I win, I'm feeling great about tonight. I met a lot of residents, made some really great connections. If I win, my first plan of action is most definitely to work towards the Parks and Recreation. I would like to influence the youth, get the Owen Jack Center open again, work with Dino towards making that happen, and as well, I would like to work on the charter, which hasn't been changed in years.
So I will like to make a note, Megan, there was 2 write-in candidates for District 5, Eddie Kapuscinski and Randy Hall. We are oh so close to numbers, folks. Just stick with us. We will be right back with more election night coverage right after this. Hello, folks. Yes, we are still here, and we're alive and well, and we're awake. And tell you what, I need more coffee. It's Wednesday morning, and we're still on the air here at TV Warren.
Yes.
It's November 8th. It's 12:08. We talked about how we're going to have numbers for you. You guys stuck with us, and we do finally have some numbers to show you. So let's take a look first. We're going to start with the mayor's race, and there you see it right there. Lori Stone ahead of George Demas, unofficially the winner with nearly 53% of the votes. Lori Stone, if that holds, history is made tonight in Warren. She would be the first female Warren in the city of, first female mayor in the city of Warren.
Pretty incredible.
Yep.
Wow. And then after mayor, we
got
have
clerk
some more
next.
unofficial numbers.
City clerk.
Yes, we got Sonia Bufa at 53.56% winning.
That's a fairly close race.
Yeah,
but
absolutely, over my zone.
looks like Sonia is going to get another term as clerk. And then, of course, Lori Barnwell, unopposed as treasurer, she'll get another 4 years as she'll be in office. And we take a look at it, Megan, at our next race. That's the at-large. This was really close. Look at the balance there and the percentages. Dave Dwyer and Angela Rogensue officially or unofficially would be the two at-large candidates who took the 2 seats open for city council.
And unofficially, Dave Dwyer would be mayor pro tem.
Correct. He had the most votes out of all the council members, so he would be the pro tem and possibly the city council president as well. So.
And then Donna Comartin with 22%. She also won. And we have City Council District 1, unofficial.
1, yep. Melody McGee, it looks like she'll be taking District 1 over Charles Perry. She wins the council seat unofficially in District 1. And again, more history there. She would be the first African-American to win a seat on City Council.
Excellent.
Let's take a look at our next district, District 2. And Jonathan Lafferty looks like he will get a second term on council as he unofficially beats Adam Sakwa in District 2. And so Lafferty gets unofficially a second term. And now let's take a look at District 3. Mindy Moore. That was really a good race there as well. Mindy Moore over Daniel Bozak. And it looks like Mindy Moore will get a third term on city council. So as we take a look at District 4 now, and this was another close race. Looks like Gary Boyke is going to beat Gary Watts. And Gary Watts was, Megan, the incumbent there in District 4.
That's right.
And so it looks like we're going to have a new council person unofficially in District 4 as Boyke beats Gary Watts. And then finally, District 5, let's take a look at that.
Henry Noonan.
Yep, a new member as well will be introduced in District 5. Henry Noonan beats Brittany Trongali. And then, of course, you see the write-in tolls is there because we had a few write-in candidates as well. So there you have it. We got,
very exciting.
Looks like we're going to have, 4 new council members.
Very exciting.
A new mayor, and so yeah, lot going down here tonight in the city of Warren as we are again 12/12 on Wednesday morning, November 8th, and we got the results finally coming in for you.
It's a good morning as our night wraps up. Many may be wondering what's next for Mayor Fouts. We asked him just that.
Well, I've had some people suggest I run for this office or that office, or I do this or that, but I think it's a little too early. There still is a federal court challenge going. It's a long shot, but that still could do something that would be the unexpected if the federal court were to rule that I deserve to be in the ballot. I doubt that will happen, but I would wait and see what that happens. I could even decide to write a book. I'm considering that. Could consider a podcast, could consider a whole host of other things. So everything is a possibility. Nothing is ruled out and nothing is ruled in. But I might say again, I greatly appreciate, and I want to thank the voters of Warren for giving me 4 great, wonderful terms as mayor. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I wish whoever is elected mayor in this November the best of luck, and I urge them to hit the ground running and make sure you do your very best.
All right, Megan, so one more piece from Mayor Fouts is he has some final words for the citizens of Warren. Let's take a look.
This concludes my interview, and I will say this should be probably my last major interview as Mayor Warren, and as I previously stated, I'll state again, I'm humbled by the opportunity to have become mayor. I never thought I'd be elected mayor. I never thought I'd be elected to the city council. Actually, I had other desires that I wanted to do when I was in college. I actually wanted to be a stand-up entertainer. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And instead of that, I became a stand-up mayor. And I'm not sure there's anything to say about that, except that when you're mayor, you have to have a great sense of humor, and you have to not worry about what others might say, especially members of the city council. And you just have to move forward and realize that your goal is there, and even though someone wants to move you off the dial, you're going to stay directly on the goal. And as long as you stay directly on the goal, you're going to be successful. So be thine own self true. Thank you.
Some great final words there. We'd like to thank you for joining us for our election night coverage.
Yes, thank you so much for watching on this historic night. And, you know, Megan, we'll have 3 new council members.
Yes.
Just to finally, close things out. And we'll have, 4 new council members,
right.
3 incumbents, 1, and then we have a new mayor. So we're going to
very exciting.
Run some numbers for a few more minutes, folks. And again, we want to thank everyone for watching. You can go to the website, cityofwarren.org, and then go to the clerk's page as well to get more numbers. Once again, we appreciate you watching. Megan, it was great hosting. I had a great time. And
thank you to our crew.
Everyone behind the scenes,
everyone
Christy
behind
producing,
the scenes, Clarissa,
our executive producer, all the camera people, Paul in the control room, Pat,
Christy
Labs, Steve Brown, Don Carrier, everyone in the control room for making this all happen. And once again, thank you for watching. Good night and good morning. Well, take care. Have a good night.